Hello. And as I talk to the children and any grown-ups who happen to be listening, I want to think today about Mary and Joseph and those couple of weeks just leading up to when baby Jesus is born. Now, I've been a mum 16 years now. It feels like forever, but I still have really clear memories of those few weeks just before Beth was born. I had a lovely time. I painted her bedroom, I put the cot together, I went shopping for her very first teddy bear, and most importantly, I rested. Those first few weeks of being a mum are exhausting. They're lovely, but they are so tiring. And I was able to go into those first few weeks rested and ready to go. I'm sure Mary had similar plans. She might not have gone to Boots to buy a baby teddy bear, but she had things that she wanted to do to get ready to become mum to the Son of God. But those plans, they went wrong. Things didn't happen the way Mary wanted them to. A couple of weeks before Jesus was due to be born, the Romans called a census. Now, when they called a census, all the men with their wives had to go back to the place of their birth. And for Joseph, this meant travelling from Nazareth to Bethlehem, a 10-day journey. 10 days walking. Well, that was really going to be difficult for Mary. So at least here Joseph was able to help and find a donkey. The journey would still be tough for Mary, but it would be doable with the donkey. So Mary and Joseph, no doubt frustrated by this unnecessary journey that the Romans were making them make, headed off to Bethlehem. On their way, they would have had lots of time to talk, and I'm sure they made plans. Well, we're not going to be able to give birth at home, but I'm sure we can find somewhere comfy and cosy, and we can make it feel like home, and it'll be as good as it can be. And maybe they were quite excited by the time they got to Bethlehem. But then here comes the second problem. There were no rooms left. Maybe because Mary was pregnant, their journey was a little slower than they were planning. And there was no room in the inn. Eventually, after knocking on many doors, a man took pity on them. He had no room where they could stay, but he did have a stable. His animals lived there, and he knew it was warm. Maybe not where he would have wanted his child to be born, but certainly better than nothing. So he offered them the stable, and knowing they had no other choice, they took it. Now, this stable wouldn't have been the clean, comfortable place I would have wanted to become a mummy in. They had to compromise. Life wasn't going to plan. And they did. Baby Jesus spent his first night not in a comfy cot built by loving hands, but in an animal feeding trough. But I'm sure, even though life felt like it had gone as wrong as it could go, there was blessing in these times, when the shepherds visited, when other people passed by. Life doesn't always go the way we want it to. But that doesn't mean that God can't work through tough times. Jesus, his ministry wasn't changed or impacted in any way because he was born in a stable. It didn't matter that he didn't have that best start to life. I know he was the Son of God and he could do amazing things. But he can do amazing things for us too, when our lives don't go the way we want them to. I hope this Christmas you have the things that you want and you need, and that you have a really great time, even though Christmas is going to be the weirdest Christmas I ever remembered. But if that doesn't happen for you and things don't quite go to plan, remember they didn't go to plan for Mary, Joseph or Jesus on that very first Christmas. But that didn't mean that God wasn't in the plan that didn't go to plan.